Hey folks, so if you saw yesterday's project video, and working on the monster, come a long way since then. I got it drivable now, but I'm getting error code 7. It's doing the same thing the ES950 was doing, but it's not as bad. It's not as dramatic when it stops, because the ES950 just stops dead. The monster kind of slows down to a stop. The difference being, I don't know what's causing it with the monster. There's so many things it could be. Error code 7 is kind of, it seems to be generic. It could be anything. But the number one cause is usually this plug. So I took it out. It's not melted, so it hasn't overheated. So I don't have to change it yet. I put some dielectric grease in there just to help things along. The problem is it's not charging. I went out yesterday. I used the monster's charger, and when I went out yesterday, the batteries didn't charge at all. I didn't get much of a drive. I went from here straight up to the soccer fields to sit by the river, and by the time I got there, half the charge was gone. When I came back, I came down along the far trail, the far trail down to the park, and by the time I got to the park, I was on my low battery warning, so the batteries didn't charge at all. So I decided yesterday when I got home, before I do anything, I'm gonna figure out what's going on. So I checked that plug again, no problem. Connections are all tight, everything's good. So the only other option is something up in here, which I'm thinking, because a couple times when I've turned far to the left, it's gone into error mode. So whatever it was that was shorting against the frame, that bolt, might be happening again. It's possible. But the whole time I was out yesterday, I never got that error. But it's not charging. Why is it not charging? That's what I don't understand. So, it might be easier to show you, I guess. So I got the ES950's charger on. It's telling me it's charged, so I'm assuming it worked. I'm hoping it worked. We will find out. I'm going to see if I can show you. I don't know if this is going to work or not, simply because I'm trying to show you. This is my new charger. Plug it in. You have the light that comes on to tell you that it's got power. I want to plug it in. Error. I don't understand. The ES950's charger charged it. This one tells me there's an error. It will not charge it. Now I'll show you what happens when I plug the monster's charger in. This way. I'm doing all this with one hand here. Oh yeah. Okay. Got power. The light is orange. Flashing. And now it's not going to do it. It's telling me it's charged. But last night when I plugged it in, it was turning red. It was telling me there was an error. Here's the strange part. Watch the display. If I wiggle this plug, it won't do it now. There we go. it's not making full contact. So I'm thinking, oh, the charger port's worn out. But no, it only does it with the monster charger. So it's the cord that's worn out. So the ES950 charger is the only one that's actually working. Why? The other two are giving me an error. Especially the new one, it just goes into error. It just turns red. Why? So I think I can think of is maybe there's a wire loose up in here, which I can't see, like the charger for the charger, or it is the controller. So what I'm thinking of doing is put my old controller in. I'm not going to take this one out just yet. I'm just going to put it in, wrap it up in something so it doesn't short on anything. I don't know if the case is grounded or not, and just hook everything up to it and see what happens. I don't know. I might do that when I come back today. I can't think of any other reason why it won't charge. So that covers that. I never finished with the ball joints. Oh, they're at the back here. Easier to show you in the back. So I'm thinking, because this part that's welded, or at the other end. Actually, I think it's on the other end. So I just crank the ball joint down tight on it, because I can't get the nut off, because I'm afraid of breaking it. So the top ones here, I never tightened. I kind of forgot to tighten the luck nuts. You don't want to do that, because if this bar turns enough that, there we go, you can turn it, you can see it's turning. So if it turns enough that it spreads these out and unscrews the ball joint and it falls off, you lose your steering. You don't want to do that. I kind of forgot, because I wasn't 100% completely finished. Wasn't sure exactly what I was doing. But what I want to do, I want to take the bottom bar off again and weld it a little bit stronger. Because it's welded good now, but I want to put extra weld on it, because like I say, I'm afraid to undo that nut that was seized. Then, you know, I don't want to break it again. So I'm considering doing that. So that's why I never really completely finished. The other problem I'm having is with these washers in here, the steering is binding. So I'm gonna have to take those washers out. And the problem I'm having is when I took the old ones apart, well, what did I do with all the parts? I put all my parts in a box. I think they're over here. Something I hadn't thought about at the time. Okay, I know I put them in a box. Apparently they're not over here. I see them. I see them. Okay, I know you're in here. Where did it go? There's one. This steering shaft has got this spacer on it. This spacer, when you put pressure on the bearings, that spacer, it tightens against the spacer and it won't put force on the bearings. I need to cut this and get this spacer off and put them between the bearings, because the problem I'm having is when I tighten this, it's tightening down on the washer itself, which is putting pressure on the whole bearing. So that is what's causing the binding, because part of the bearing's trying to turn, part of it's trying to stay still, and with the pressure on the whole thing, it's causing a bit of a steering issue. It really stiff steering. So if I loosen it, I might damage the bearings, I don't know, just from them being too loose. But if I take those washers out and put the washer in the middle so it's pushing on the center of the bearing like I was going to originally, then it's going to push down on the bearing and there's nothing underneath the bearing to hold that back. So I could damage the bearing that way. So what I need to do is I need to take one of the bearings out and put the spacer in between and put the bearing back in. So, the problem with that is I'm not very good at taking bearings out. I'm used to taking broken bearings out that don't matter one way or another whether they get more damaged than what they are, because they're going to get replaced anyway. So before I do that, I have to have replacement bearings, and it's cost me so much money so far working on this thing, not just parts, but tools. I had to buy tools. I don't have any money left for the rest of the month. As of May 6th, I'm out of money for the month already. I do get paid by YouTube this month, but that money's going towards the internet bill, because I never get to pay that. So I have to wait until next month, which really sucks. I don't know how much the bearings are. I know they're not that much, depending on the package. I buy the wheel bearings in bulk. I don't even remember what I pay for those. I usually get those in 10 packs. I go through enough of them, but I don't remember exactly how much those cost me, so I don't know what to expect from the other ones. So the headlights turned sideways a little bit. How'd that happen? Why'd that happen? Now, if you can see that, it's turned to the side of it. No, I'll be fixing that when I put the new one on anyways. I'm not too worried about it. So, I'm enjoying driving a Monster anyways, either way. It's so much nicer than the ES950. It's not complete, I still have a lot of work I need to do to it, but no, it's drivable. Ah, come on. There we go. It's difficult doing this with one hand. And I still gotta wash this thing too. One thing at a time. And the most important thing was to get it drivable. Everything else I can work on later. Okay. So all I gotta do is put the seat on it, and I'm ready to go out today. So I went for a nice long walk last night. It's enjoyable, but it's just really wearing me out. Which is why I quit walking to begin with. But I'm enjoying it, and I'm going to try to keep doing it. Build up a little bit of stamina, get my muscles going again. So, when I explained about how the walking was causing me problems, it drives me nuts that I only half explain something. So I'll try to give a better picture of what I'm talking about. When I walk on my toes. So, it doesn't matter if I'm going uphill or downhill or level ground. My calf muscles are always tense. So, I got talking about that, I forgot to explain why. So, basically, frame move, kind of thought it was falling over. So I put my heel down and then my toes, and then I just kind of lift my heel again, and then I go from there. That's my walking style. That's how I walk. And when I'm barefoot, my heels barely touch the ground. Going downstairs, obviously they will, but for the most part, I'm walking on my toes. My heels don't touch. So my calf muscles are always tense, anyways. So I kind of forgot to explain that part of it. So last night I tried something different. I tried walking slower and actually using my heels. Problem with that is I have to actually think about that every step, and I can't constantly think about my walking because my mind tends to go other places, and next thing I know, I'm walking fast again without even noticing. So it's difficult when you, like, I'm 50 something, 55, I guess. I never know. I have to calculate it. I think I'm 55. And, this is the way I walked all my life, right? You can't just suddenly change the way you walk. It's really difficult. So the only way I can really do it is to walk slower. And that works, because then I'm not going as fast. I can actually slow down and use my heel, make sure I'm using my heel, just to relax that calf muscle a little bit. And I have to think about it. As soon as I stop thinking about it, I start thinking about something else. I automatically go back to the way I normally walk. It's nature. It's my natural way of walking. So it's like breathing. You can control your breathing, but when you're not thinking about it, it does it itself. It's just a natural thing. So it's kind of interesting trying to figure all that out. But I went for the longest walk I've gone for so far, and I enjoyed it. My feet, my ankles get sore. I'm not sure why. Not muscles, just my ankles. The bones themselves get pretty sore. And of course, I don't have great footwear. I need to get some good shoes for walking in, but again, no money yet. So money's always an issue for me. Always preventing me from doing what needs to be done. But that's life. So Mother's Day on Sunday, called my mother, talked to her for a bit, and she got telling me about a couple things. You remember, I think I told you about my aunt's coffee cup collection. Over 200 cups. My sister counted. After 200, she just kind of gave up counting them. My mother was talking to me about that when they're having the estate sale. I said, her mother got tired of her bringing these things home, and she told her if she brings any more home, she's gonna smash them all or whatever. She still bought them. She just hid them. So when they were going through the house, they were finding coffee cups hidden all over the place. It's kind of funny, but there were so many. My mother said when they had the sale, they told everybody, if you buy something, you get a free cup. So they were giving them away, just trying to get rid of them. I laughed when I heard that. That's kind of funny. There were so many of them. Everybody's got their collections of things, right? I used to collect matchbooks when I was younger. It was funny because I'd find them, and I couldn't tell you what I have, but when I saw one, I'd pick it up, I'd know if I had it or not. So it was kind of interesting. I had lots of them. I don't even remember how that started. I always started collecting those. I collected those, and I collected buttons, like the pin-on buttons that got things on them. I was collecting those for a while too. When did that stop? I think when I moved out of my parents' house the first time. I think that's when I stopped collecting them. because I didn't have anywhere to really put them. I didn't have a big place at that time. I think that's when I stopped. But it was interesting anyways. I had one that said coffee break expert, and the librarian at the high school wanted to buy it from me. I said, no, not for sale. It is mine. When you collect something, you know, unless you got more than one, you don't want to share, right? You don't want to give them away or sell them. So, beautiful day today. As you can see, I'm wearing shorts. First shorts day for me, I think. I don't remember if I wore shorts earlier, but gotta be 23 degrees at least for me to wear shorts, and it's 23 right. Well, it was 23 when I came out. Before I came out, so it's supposed to be 25 today, which means it'll probably be 26, 27. So, going to enjoy. So I'm not sure what else to talk about actually. There hasn't been a whole lot. I got this drivable, so I could go out and enjoy. Having error codes. I got a lot more work to do yet. I talked about the ball joints and the bearings and the charger. I think that's it. Can't think of anything else. Nothing else has really been happening. I gotta get this crap off my face. It's starting to get long again. And it was kind of itchy when I was out walking last night, even though it was nice. It was 12 degrees, I think, 12, 13. So it was supposed to go down to 10 last night, so I dressed for 10 and I was overdressed, so I was sweating pretty good by the time I got back, and my beard was itchy, especially right in here. Itchy. So I gotta take care of that again. So I guess that's it. I can't think of anything else. Thanks for watching. Hey, so I just went for the longest trip I've done on Monster so far. Down to Timmy's, grabbed my coffee, and I went back to sit back behind the community center. That's the first time I said that without tripping over those words. The school buses were parked back in there, so I stopped and asked them, because I've been wondering about this. They always congregate in there before they head to the school. So I asked him, I said, do you guys have to show up in a specific order? And he said yes. So that's new. I remember in school, you know, you could come out and your bus is like right there waiting, or it could be the last one to show up, you know. So I guess they changed that. So I'm a little bit confused because these fender brackets here, you can see how close it is to the tire there. And they've always been like that. They've always been really close. If I get a flat tire, it'll rub. But this one's actually rubbing. I can hear it when I'm driving. So I don't know why that is. This is the new one. This is the new bracket, the new spindle. And it was like that when I first put it on. I might have to bend that in a little bit. It's hard to say. It almost looks like it's angled outwards a little bit. I might have to bend that in if I can. It's pretty thick steel, which is strange because everything else in this is like, not really thin. So I left there, and I still reading full charge on the batteries at that point, so that's already an improvement, which was nice. And when I started going up all the hills, I lost 2 bars doing that. So I got a little bit farther than I normally do. Like yesterday, if I went up those hills, you know, I probably would have on my low battery warning by the time I got to the top. So I went for a nice long out-of-town tour. I got up to the river and sat on my off-road spot there and started coming down the road. I'm back out of town, and just as I got to the dirt road, that's where I lost the next bar. And going up a bit of a hill there, I actually lost 2 of them, so I was down to 2 bars. And I finished off my tour and came home. I still got 2 bars left, so huge improvement. So that means the batteries did charge fully yesterday, and I'm hoping to do the same thing again today. So I'm gonna try the Monster's charger's plugged in right now, so I'm gonna try it first. Let's see what happens here. Okay, I'm gonna do this from the front so you can see the display. I'll see what happens here. See that? Nothing. Push down on it a little bit and it came on. Let's see what we get. The yellow light. It's yesterday at this point. It did this, it was working. And then it went click, the orange light flashed a few times, and then it went red. At the moment, it seems like it's going to work. So, I am going to try my new charger. Let's see what happens with it. Oops, knocking everything over. This one's got what I like about this, it's got a really long cord on it. So plug it in. Error. I don't get it, guys. I don't understand. This worked the first time I tried it, that's it. It hasn't worked since. I don't understand why. I don't get it. So, plug the S950's charger in. The only one that seems to be working right now. Properly anyway. Plug it in. Turn it on. And it's charging. I don't get it, guys. I don't get it. I don't understand. So I'm not doing anything today. I'm going to do a quick inspection. Make sure everything's still tight. I'm not getting any motion on the wheels, that's good, but I want to make sure the axle bolts are still tight. Make sure they haven't loosened up any. I don't want any wheels falling off. Okay, everything seems tight. It's a good thing. Ow, ow, ow. So I'll do an inspection, make sure all the bolts are still tight and everything. I still gotta redo the ball joint, but I'm not doing that today. And it's already 4:30. I got out late today, so hopefully I'll be able to come out a little earlier tomorrow. I think it was 10:30 when I went out for my walk last night, and it was almost 2 by the time I got back, so... Oh! This thing moving again. So, I wore myself out pretty good. I slept through both alarms, so... Not a surprise. So hopefully I can get everything done early tonight. Go out for a walk a little bit earlier. I prefer to walk at night when there's less people around, because then they don't, I get self-conscious about how I'm walking. And, if I know somebody's watching me, then I kind of lose my coordination, because I'm already thinking about each step as it is, as I explained before. And it's just kind of embarrassing, I guess you could say, with someone watching me. I get that anyway with everything. I don't like people watch me when I'm eating. I don't like people watch me when I'm smoking. I'm just like that. I don't like people watching me. Yeah, here I am on camera. This doesn't bother me for some reason. It took me a while to get used to it. A long time. So I don't know what to think about this. It's still charging. It's still going. I don't know what to think. So, I had a nice tour. I did get interrupted once. I was sitting down at the dam, and I heard bang! And then, not tire squeal. It's sort of a little bit like off-road tire type squeal sound. That howl, I guess you could say. I was like, oh, well, that didn't sound good. So I went up and inspected, and that construction truck got T-boned. So just listening to him, my understanding of what happened was there was a car that was turning, the truck was waiting to pull out, and there was a car had a signal on the turn, so he looked the other way, nothing coming, so he pulled out, and there was a pickup that decided to pass this car that was turning, and just boom. Did some pretty good damage to the side of the truck. Everybody's okay, nobody's hurt, that's good. But just, like I say, I only heard one side of the conversation, so that was my understanding of what happened. And I've seen that happen many times. So, and Michelle was in a car accident with her friend one time. The same thing happened. There was a transport truck that was turning. They pulled out and somebody was passing the truck and they got hit. So it happens. You just really gotta watch in that particular situation. So I don't think I have anything else to talk about. Hopefully I have the energy tomorrow to actually do these ball joints properly, weld that rod up so that I can feel a little more comfortable trying to take that C's nut off without breaking it again, and then I can adjust, because they're obviously off. I just lined them up by eye. Like I say, I couldn't adjust them. I tightened the one ball joint all the way down to the C's nut, and then I put the other one in a place that looked like it was going to be fairly accurate, and it was. It's pretty close, but I can feel it when I'm driving. Same thing that was happening before. If I get the one front wheel in the dirt, it'll pull to the other side, so I know it's off. I can feel it. So I'll get that so that I can actually adjust that properly, and then I'll do the top one. I'll finish off what I started, because I never actually got to finish that. And then I gotta fix the top. There's a whole lot of rattling going on in there, so that's my next thing to fix. Work on that one. I guess that's it. I guess that's all I got. So hopefully you'll enjoy my tour. I enjoyed it. It's a beautiful day today. Like I say, first day in shorts. Enjoy it. And it looks like it's going to be like this for the rest of the week, so I'm happy. Rain on the weekend. Last time I looked, I'll have to look again. It's been a while. I think it's been about a week since I've actually checked the forecast. I just remember seeing that this week was going to be nice, so. And it is. I don't know what the temperature is now. It's supposed to be 25 today, like I said, but it was 23 when I come out, and it feels actually a little bit warmer. So anyway, I'm rambling now, so I guess I'll end here. Thanks for watching, guys.